All right, we're going to do a driving video of the 1960 MGA. If you saw the earlier video, we did a walk around, kind of how everything's laid out on the dash, how to start the car, how the doors open, because there's no door handles on the outside of an MGA, and just a general overview of what a 1600 MGA is compared to, say, a 1500 or a 1622 Mark II, I guess, a deluxe and a twin cam. So anyway, we're here, and of course, if you remember, we just turn the key on. You hear that electric fuel pump do a couple of clicks until it's up to pressure. It stops. Got your start button right here. I'm going to push the clutch in and make sure the brake is off. She fires right up. And the great thing about an MGA, or really any roadster for that matter, is it's a visceral experience, and you can hear everything that's going on because the top's down. You can hear the exhaust perfectly. This car has a nice little burble to it, 4,000 RPM, and we'll hear that on the road. But great sound coming out of the exhaust. And it's not a special exhaust. It's not a Monza or anything like that. The car has a cast iron exhaust manifold on it, and just a factory muffler system. But this is the way they sound coming from the factory. Absolutely all original car. So there's nothing that's changed on it. So anyway, if you've ever heard the term crash, I think this is the correct term. If it's not, leave me something in the comments. But crash box transmission. So this car doesn't have a synchronizer in first gear. So when you put this thing in first gear, you'll get a little gear grind from the gear still spinning the transmission. Or if you're moving at speed, you got to put this in first gear. It's going to grind unless you double clutch it and match the engine speed and the transmission speed. So a lot of folks who aren't used to driving a non-synchronized first gear transmission, what you hear right there, they're trying to go down the road and get this thing in first gear to start off with the rolling just up to a light that turns green, and can't do it. So anyway, second, third, and fourth are synchronized, and then reverse is not synchronized. So no synchros on first to reverse. So you just keep that in mind. Anyway, car's running pretty good. Looks like we're up to about 175 on the temperature, so she's warmed up. I'm going to turn my choke, let that go all the way off, and we're on fine. So let's hit the road. I don't know if you can hear me or not while we're driving. I'll just keep talking. If you can't hear me, you can't hear me. And if you can, well, maybe we can pick up a couple other things. The horn, right here. You can hear that little bit of burble in the exhaust. When you're coming down for about 4,000 RPM. These little motors, you wouldn't drive your car at 4,000 RPM, but these little four-cylinder engines, and this is the bigger of the four-cylinder engines, it's like a motorcycle. You run them at higher RPMs. This car could be cruising down the highway and turning 3,500. the gas pedal, the brake, and the clutch, and you just go to town. I've driven this car through 3 different states. It's never failed me. You hear people talk about British cars. Oh, that thing's a money pit. Lucas Electrics and everything else about a British car is negative. Now, I did have a Jaguar XKE, and that was the case, but MGs are really simple. And if you're thinking about an MG or even an MGB, once you get these cars tuned and you get the carbs set up right, they're very reliable. I mean, this car is reliable as a Toyota. Temperature running right at 185. Perfect. All the time, rock steady. Everything on it works. There's very little to go wrong. You know, there's more complexity to Austin Healey, and you're going to spend a lot more money too. And I know you're going right into the sun here. So anyway, if you're thinking about a British car, you're just getting into the hobby, you want a roadster, get you an MGB. Way to get in. There's a lot of good running MGBs for not a whole lot of money, and get out of the sun here. So get you an MGB. If you want to go for the MGA, a lot of different MGAs. Price point, they're all about the same, but I would encourage you to get a 1600. Got a little more engine under the hood. You got the disc brakes and a lot of neat little things with a 1600. That's 1960 through 62. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, and we'll catch you next time.